guys, hope you're doing well. My name's Rowlands and I'm a nutritional balancing practitioner, and in this video I'm quite enjoying the car videos at the moment. The only reason why I'm doing car videos is I'm so damn busy at the moment with various projects, mainly the projects that I'm trying to build to actually help clients and other people earn money. A lot of people have been inquiring about it. Unfortunately, it isn't a project that's specifically to do with nutritional balancing, although it could be in one way or another. It's a little bit different to that, but that's not the point. The point is for people to earn some not easy money, but for people to earn money working from home so they can do the program. And over all the years of doing this, I know what sort of job people need in order to heal, and so this is it. So I'm just currently training up a couple of people because they're going to be the sort of reps. They're going to train the other people up. So when that's done, I shall let you know. But in this video, I want to talk about expectations versus reality, because that's something that we're all going to have to deal with at some point when you develop yourself. So one of the things that we're here to do on this planet as human beings, and I don't know whether we're meant to do it or whether it is something that was not meant to happen, I don't know, but basically what happens is we're born and we're very much connected to spirit, to God, to the Creator, and as we grow up in our early years, we build an ego. I do think it is meant to happen. I think egos are actually important because they do keep you protected in your earlier years, and even the tribal people and Aborigines, etc. They all talk about having egos in the earlier years. So you sort of build an ego, and an ego in a way sort of detaches you from spirit, detaches you from God, because an ego is singular. It means that you're not connected to the universe or the Creator or to other people around you to a certain extent. So you build an ego, and that usually peaks. Sure when it peaks, but generally what happens is that you will go through something called the Saturn return. Saturn return is sort of like a midpoint in life, where you go from late adolescence to adulthood, and in many ways it's a breakdown of the ego. If you think about it like a circle, you build an ego, you get to about 28, and then the ego tends to break down until you get back down to the end of the circle, which is around 50-year-old, and by that point you should be in celebration years, whereby you've come full circle and your ego is not going to say no longer there, but definitely diminished quite a lot. But this built into expectations versus reality. Expectations is ego-based, fantasy land. The expectations of the magical one, the magical partner that's going to solve all your problems. Expectations of how a friend's going to react when you tell them something. Expectations of what a job's going to be like. Expectations of how your life's going to play out. Expectations of a job, expectations of this, expectations of that. And that's ego-based for the most part. And I'm not saying don't have expectations. Do you know what I mean? I think dreams, for example, are quite important. But you need to figure out whether your dreams and goals and expectations are based in God or not. Usually when people are not connected to the Creator or not connected to God, their expectations are very, very ego-based. They want the perfect marriage. They want the perfect job where everyone's nice and kind to them. Do you know what I mean? They want the perfect home where nothing's going to go wrong, and all the neighbours are good and all this sort of stuff. And this is ego style things. And what happens, or what happens is basically there is something called absolute truth, which basically means that the creator has instilled this idea of truth into the world. Some of the simple truths are, if you jump up in the air, gravity is going to pull you back down to the floor. Another truth might be, when the law of thermodynamics, for example, or when water gets to 100 degrees, it will boil. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what your expectations are. If your expectations are, what if I jump off this building, I'm going to fly? That's not based on absolute truth. So you're going to come down. You're going to come back down to earth. And there's absolute truth, instilled into everything. And usually it's these sort of intrinsic, sort of absolute truths that we need to learn that breaks down the ego. So I'll give you an example. One absolute truth is that there isn't the perfect partner out there that will solve all your problems. That's just not true. A road I was meant to go down is being closed. That's not true. And one of the reasons why it's not true is that you should not put your partner as God. That is a fundamental law. It's written in the Ten Commandments. So you will not find someone who solves all your problems and deals with all your emotional needs. That's impossible. Although the ego wants to find that. So that's a truth that you're going to have to learn at some point. And that's a breakdown of the ego, a breakdown of expectations. Another expectation that you might have is that I want to be an actor when I grow up. That's my expectation. But the truth is that maybe that's not your path. Maybe the truth is God has a different plan for you, and your ego is getting in the way of that path. And you will, if you do the Nutritional Balancing program, have an ego breakdown usually, and a teaching lesson which tells you that is actually not the path for you. I wanted to be an art. I don't know what I wanted to be actually. I wanted to be an architect. I wanted to be one of the guys that drive helicopters in the police force. That would have been a cool job. In reality, I am actually a counselling, detox expert, copper therapist, nutritional balancing practitioner. There's no way on earth would I even think that I would have been that person when I was younger, when I had an ego. And I wouldn't even think I would have enjoyed it. I didn't even like nutrition or health. It didn't bother me in the slightest. So that was expectation versus reality. One thing I always like to do when you want to search for absolute truth is I generally look back to the past. I think tribal people, indigenous people, I feel that they was way more hitting the truth than we do now. I believe there's a truth to male and female, male energy, female energy. There's a weird expectation in the world today where male and females are equal. That's just ego-based stuff. That's just not truth. We're not equal. Do you know what I mean? For a start, we have a completely different hormonal system, which brings different outputs. But again, back in the indigenous tribes, they respected that. Some other absolute truths is, there's a certain diet that humans, or certain food, should I say, that humans should eat to survive. If you eat a death cap poisonous mushroom, for example, you'll die. That is an absolute truth. That's an intrinsic truth. And same goes really for junk food. But it's an ego-based thing that we think that these foods are going to heal us, and they're not. So as you go through life and as you go through the nutrition balancing program and the development program, as you build up your ego in your early years, if you actually follow the program properly, what you will find is you will get sort of spiritually aligned onto this path of absolute truth, whether you know it or not. And things will come up in your life whereby they will challenge you. What's the article on Dr. Wilson's website? God will severely sort of kill your preferences or something like that. You know, God, you know, something along them lines. And it's true, like, your preferences, your ego, your expectations, they will get severely hindered when you're doing the program and doing the development program. But it's all for the best. Because really what you're doing is you're breaking down them unrealistic expectations, and you're just understanding reality, absolute truth. And absolute truth is way better than expectations, because absolute truth is sustainable. Absolute truth makes you feel better, even though in the beginning you might not feel better because you're having to deal with this ego breakdown. You know, absolute truth is very spiritually oriented, and that's the reason why we're here on the planet. And you know, on deep levels, we probably signed up to this contract, and you know, we knew that we was going to experience a level of amnesia and build up an ego, and the idea is to break that down in order to learn and to experience and to live and to understand. So that's it. Expectation versus reality. The trick is just stick to the program, and you'll realise after a while how powerful it is and how much you just align with absolute truth. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time. If you want to start the program, email me lewis@deephealingspace.com, and yeah, subscribe, like, see you soon.